Hello, board members. How are we doing this fine Sunday afternoon? Well, I hope. As it is Puzzle Sunday, we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, where we're in the last of the 3 trilogies. And we're actively about halfway through the story, I think. Last week we finished up the case of our doppelganger. And this week we're starting a case that was apparently done by Maya as a new lawyer. So we might get some more Maya time in this one. That'll be fun. A little Maya time. So 4 Turnabout beginnings. Now we got a little lore dump about this last time, but that should play through it again. The girl. Let her go! Jeez, that is loud. I'm gonna have to turn that down a little bit. Turn that down on my end. Shut up! Come closer and I kill her. Swear I'm not an elk. Welcome. Laid like 1, 2. Hey, howdy. Sorry, but you're not gonna get that something. Ah! Someone got shot! But welcome, I swear I'm not an elk. Oh, he's in the hospital. I thought he was on a train. I thought the flicker was supposed to be like the train going by. I didn't even notice this before. He's in the hospital. It was the first Mia ever worked on. Fugitive data. I'm gonna go pour the boiling water. February 16th, 9:24 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Ugh. So nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. Again, we are playing as Mia for this bit, as this is apparently Phoenix checking on one of her cases from the past. I never should have accepted this case. Eek! Wow. There's a lot going on with this guy. Especially this gold necklace thing. Good morning? Be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Fawless. My first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? Dog, eek. I'm sorry. What is happening? Ugh, I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But, Mr. Fawless, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Yug. Eek. I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. How does he have teeth with how much he bites that? Maybe it's like how bone works, since teeth are kind of bone-like. The more he bites on it, the harder his teeth have to get, so it's kind of like a compounding thing till eventually his teeth will actually get hard enough to chew through it. The police believe that Terry Fawless did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Ha. I'm guessing this is young Edgeworth, everybody. Buckle up. You're the closest thing we have to a dentist. Explain for us? She's busy. She's watching her show. She's watching her hunky blonde man stab things with a sword and act promiscuous with a witch and probably another witch, to be honest with you. Ha. Okay. So this is a brand new character. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Or where's Mr. Grossberg? Ha, that old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. That's the Cyclops guy, isn't he? I'm pretty sure that looks like him, yeah. Again, I still thought the Cyclops guy was going to turn out to be that police officer guy from like I think the second module, but I guess not. Apparently they introduced a brand new random character. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me. Diego Armando. Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaped death row convict for a first client? Yeah, thanks. Sure wish I could get out of this, though. I swear to God, in the beginning of this, when we did the first trial, she said the same thing about being on trial with Phoenix for his trial with the lady who tried to, like, have him killed or pretended to, like, kill her, pretended he killed her ex-boyfriend. Armando is my grandpa's name, first name, though. Yeah, Armando. Ha, relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. Solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Overlooping trial? What do you mean? Overlooping? Oh, you mean like overlooking the trial? Yeah, he's just here to watch to see how Maya does, I guess. Or Mia does. February 16th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Oh, we got a different judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Fallis. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh yeah, there's young Edgeworth. The prosecution is ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. You're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, huh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess her little kitten hasn't learned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Humph. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on the trial for escaping prison. So yeah, here's his coffee he's talking about, too. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Flawless was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Fallis, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crime was kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Wait, what? A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony? The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. Hawthorne. Does that sound familiar? She arrested Mr. Flawless at the scene and later testified against him. Said she witnessed Mr. Flawless throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. The policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly, the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! This is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Grrr. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I can care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. Call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Oh my god, Gumshoe is still... Why does he look the same, though? Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe, I'm the homicide detective in charge of this case, sir. I've only got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? Gumshoe is immortal? I guess so. He perpetually looks like he's in his mid to late 30s. What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Irk. Okay, I got it. Wow, Gumshoe has zero chill. Not surprising at all. Gumshoe's kind of an idiot. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran of the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at the aerial map of the area here. Why is this damaged? This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. Also 5 yards. Hold on. It's basically like 2 inches is 5 yards on this map. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Dusky Bridge map added to the court record. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Not sure I like you waggling your finger at me as I thought I was some hoser. What? Are you supposed to be Canadian? Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now. Listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake, this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. So what, Armando back in the day was obsessed with tea instead of coffee? Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to the Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Fawless. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Fawless was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination, coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. Oh, no, okay, he's still drinking coffee. I'm not trembling, it's just cold in here. Gorman can be a cold battlefield, all right, especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. You got me there. Maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. Okay, Mia, stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching? Oh, God, did none of them go to school? None of them went to school for law. They're all, like, self-taught with YouTube videos. What is going on? How is that legal? Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Mia homeschooled herself? I guess so. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Fawless. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Fawless. A note? Yeah, a top-secret memo that she left in her desk. The victim's note added to the court record. According to this note, it seems that the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Fawless. His bright idea was to keep that note from me. Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's the detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. No wonder there's no logic in what they're saying. Yeah, clearly. Like, I thought it was mentioned specifically that she went to school, she went to college to learn to be a lawyer. And they even mentioned that Phoenix went to school as a minor in law. But it keeps sounding like both of them just kind of self-taught themselves how to be lawyers because they felt like the urge to be defense attorneys. It doesn't sound like they went to school at all. It's really weird. Unless Japan America, like, law classes don't actually teach you anything, I guess. Maybe they just went to really, really, really cheap, bad colleges or something. It's just that because the wait. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Is that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. To drop out and watch video instead to go to law to go law stuff? Yeah, apparently. Apparently you could just watch some law videos in Japan America on YouTube and you can walk into any courtroom and be a lawyer. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Fawless. A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where the Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Flawless. Ha! Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move, we've got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Ha. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Flawless, but she left a note on her desk about it. What? If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Okay, wait a second. Can I read this note? Oh, I can. Flawless, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Because someone else wrote the note? Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense. At that bridge, wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. So we need to find out who Dahlia is. What? Oh. Husky Bridge. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Criminal stuffed her body in the car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Okay. Mr. Flawless had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, man. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about the car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. That is a shockingly clean trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Okay. A photo of the trunk of Flawless's car. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. Ha. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Wait, men always seem to get stabbed in the back? Talking about a woman here? You can't tell from the photo, but the knife was stuck in her neck. Or wait, it was stuck in her back, nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Anyone? Yeah? This is damaged. So at a minimum, that's a little weird. Because if he had the keys for the trunk, why did he break it to get it open? Hold on. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. Why do we... Okay, I'm very confused. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says... sorry. I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Mr. Flawless was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. It certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Flawless might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them were arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. And it took approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later, Mr. Flawless would have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not. Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. Ever famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Okay. Sergeant Harthorn went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met Mr. Flawless. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his trunk and tried to make a getaway. Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway, is there a way for me to... I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. So where is her car? Or whatever? I mean, maybe it's not relevant, but it feels like kind of relevant to know where her car is. Presumably it would be here also, right? I just don't know if they're skipping it because it doesn't matter, or they're skipping it because it's going to turn out to be a plot point later. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. I wonder if I'm just supposed to present the trunk here, and then that'll let me be like, wait, what do you think's wrong with the trunk? And then I can point out that the trunk is busted open. I'm assuming that's going to be the trap, though. I'm guessing that's the trap, is that I'm going to ask why it's broken open, and the police are going to say they broke it open, and then I'm going to feel like an idiot or something. Okay, I'm going to present this and see... Oh, whoops. No. Present it. Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? Oh, I guess this isn't what I'm supposed to do. I don't think of anything either. Okay, let's... Okay, that was nothing, then. Okay. I was thinking that, yeah, we present the picture to do the contradiction here, when it says, I don't see anything strange, do you? And then I'd be like, yes, actually, I do see something strange in this photo, but... Mr. Flawless was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Confidential police materials written by the victim. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Oh, maybe it's that there's no blood in the car? Let me try that. I think, okay, no, it's not that either. Because if she died of blood loss, that blood had to go somewhere. And yeah, she's wearing a jacket, but the amount of blood she would have had to have lost to die would have been enough to at least get blood in the car, in the trunk. We'll stuff her body into her car trunk and try to make a getaway. Or into his car trunk and try to make a getaway. Where she was brutally murdered, sir. I'm just looking at 40 feet. This report. Oh, wait. What do I got in here? My client, since the death 5 years ago, escaped from custody 2 days ago. Police officer and the victim, the key witnesses in this case against Flawless 5 years ago. A hotshot lawyer, my senior and rival at the office, a bit smug. Dubbed a genius as soon as he started as a prosecutor today is his court debut. Homicide detective in charge of the initial investigation, still new to his position. Okay. Nah, it doesn't really give me anything. We'll stuff her body into the car trunk and try to make a getaway. There's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange to you anyway. She was arrested at a checkpoint, except at the base of the mountain. Base of the mountain. bridge at the same time. I met with Mr. Flawless. Oh, wrong thing. So it was 3 hours away? Flawless, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear a white scarf for identification. Oh, white scarf for identification. Is she wearing the scarf in this photo? Oh, she's not wearing a scarf. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be? Murder, criminal subject, try. Okay, here's a photo.
Addiction!
Ah, that's what it is. Witness? What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. Urgh, you should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee? Coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Grrr, come on, Mia. Shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective. Yes, ma'am? This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear a white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there. You should have looked for it. Arrgh. Got him. Well, remember, we're being set up for a trap or something, so. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expected she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? Sigh. I see the defense is a little lacking. Huh? The scarf you are searching so desperately for is this one, perchance? Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. What? Wait, how did... Did he just confess that he was involved? What does he mean he was there first? How is that possible? The police were at the base of the mountain. Was he just happened to be like picnicking or something? What? Why? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That outshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. Clearly, yeah, it's not exactly white as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it's intended for. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth.
I can smell the failure!
What? Oh, I can smell the failure. We're not done yet. Don't worry. We'll get there. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time? The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Scarf added to the court record. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap that scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, Squash should move into establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Flawless did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. Sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Well, everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Was that Edgeworth by chance? This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. Okay. Just taking this photo in. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. How did he do that when he was looking her in the eye? That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intended third party. Aha, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we have no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Seems to have been taken by the witness. Witness photo added to the court record. So as you can see, Terry Follows had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, Actually, the witness was Ledgeworth, his cousin. It would explain why he's taking a photo of the edge of the bridge, right? It's a bridge over a giant chasm, so he was all excited about all the ledges and edges. Events of Dusky Bridge. Okay, I want to look at some of this evidence first. Hold on, everybody. Warned by the victim at the time of the incident, found at Dusky Bridge. Seems to have been taken by the witness. Well, that could be a different scarf, or that photo's so low resolution you can't see the little beads on it. So that could be a different scarf. The other issue I'm having with this, though, is that photo seems to indicate that, presuming that they can't stand over here since this bridge seems to be out, I'm guessing that means that she was standing here and he was standing here. And somehow he got behind her and stabbed her in the back? Does a trunk photo look different? What do you mean? Driving a car, that would sound like this. Well, yeah, you're right. It would sound like a car driving. You're right. Oh, a car crash? I didn't hear the crash part of it, but... Let's see. So, double-breasted suit. No, that seems to match up. Maybe a difference in the way the buttons are set up. She's got a belt on in the middle. I mean, there's kind of a belt here in the middle. On the one in the rain, her belt is above the buttons. But in this one, it's below the buttons. I don't know. No hat, although that probably fell off. Yeah, I mean, they could argue the same thing that happened with a scarf happened with a hat. But see, I'm more confused about this belt. They don't show another set of buttons above this one, and on the other picture, the belt is below this lower set of buttons. No damage. Damaged the trunk button. Yeah. They also, someone has damaged the trunk, the actual button for the trunk. Up here. Again, I don't know if they're going to argue that, like, the police did that when they opened the trunk, or if that's going to be relevant to the case. I was trying to present that earlier, but that wasn't what I was supposed to do. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. A female college student? That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statement, that is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. Female college student, eh? I mean, she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Grr. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. I mean, if there's a key nearby, a key slot. Yeah, you would think they would just use the key to the car. Because traditionally, the key to the car will also open the trunk. Or will be with the trunk key if it is a different key. But in this case, it seems like it just got busted into, which seems really, really strange. The photo was actually taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. Vic was wearing a scarf in the photo, alright. So about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wild flowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. The spirits? How did they mention it in this photo? This cloudy fog-like thing. Is it a ghost? I don't believe it. What? No, Your Honor, no. I don't think it's a ghost. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. Not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Haha. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case. The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from the behind and stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was... Wait, it was really brutal. Is this supposed to be brutal? Yeah, basically. Wait, it was really brutal? This has got to be brutal, but spelled wrong, right? Like he has an accent? Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? Hard to push someone from the back when their back faces away from you. Yeah. With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal. Oh, okay, brutal. I wonder if he's Canadian. Oh, okay, they're setting up he's Canadian. That was why he said A and then the brutal thing instead of the brutal thing. Ha. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh? That must have been when the scarf fell off. But yeah, if the photo shows her facing him, then how... Yeah, exactly. How did he push her in the back, onto the ground, then to stab her? Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? Really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do. So the little sick kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, that means somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Yeah, I didn't get the last one, though. That must have been when the scarf fell off. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet, too. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but... There's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. He talked about a surprise. Okay, blah, we know about this. Okay, so it's got to be the drizzling. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind. So it's got to be this line. It's got to be that line, but I don't know if it's just going to be the photo itself or if it's going to be something more, you know? It doesn't look like mud. It looks like someone wiped their butt with it. Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, mud is brown. Poo is brown. It's going to look that way. It's a little weird that the stain is in the middle like that. It almost feels like it's implied that it just, like, only part of it got in the mud, but... Okay. So... Yeah, it looks more like dried blood to me. I completely agree. But they're saying it's mud, and no one's challenging that, so... Okay, I'm gonna object here and see... Alright, what do you think? Okay, so that's not it. Behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. I'm gonna take it by the witness. Also, they're not telling me what she was stabbed with. Like, they're not giving me the murder weapon. Because, I mean, he was fleeing from a crime. He was in the car. Did he just steal a knife somewhere? Did he use a screwdriver? Did he improvise a weapon and, like, grab a sharp rock? I don't know. Might be in the folder? No, it doesn't say. It just stabbed... Oh, I guess it is. Stabbed with a knife in the back. So, yeah, he got a knife somewhere. I thought it just said she was stabbed and then died from blood loss. But, yeah, stabbed with a knife in the back. So, yeah, he must have stolen a knife from somewhere. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Huh. What is the contradiction? Shoved the victim from behind. Stabbed her in the back. They've been taken by the witness. Unless maybe it's the bridge thing? It might be that the bridge itself... Maybe they're thinking that, like, oh, she went to run away from him, and then he caught up with her and stabbed her in the back. But that's not possible? Maybe that's the contradiction? Okay, no. Might be the bridge, because if there was a struggle, it'd be easier for her to fall? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. Something like that, but no, apparently not. Or broken part of the bridge? Rather than being stabbed? Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't present the broken part of the bridge separately. I can only present the bridge as a whole thing. Husband wanna... Okay. Try to see what's going on. Photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. Totally getting brain damage about this. Yeah, the module logic. Yeah, the logic in this is completely insane. I've been putting up with this with almost 100 hours now. It was 93 hours of playtime I've put into this now, so my brain is thoroughly destroyed. It would explain a few things about we were having problems with true fear the other day. So actually, taken by the witness, it shows there was an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Maybe... Hold on. Let's check something. Wait a second. Okay, the angle of that photo is from here, or potentially here. How did they not see the witness? Because they couldn't have been over here. That would have been above it. And they couldn't have been over here because they don't have a line of sight. So the witness had to have been standing here, or they would have had to have been standing here. Because we don't see the broken part of the bridge in the photo, so they couldn't have been on this side. The witness was Spider-Woman? Well, I mean, that would make... I guess that would be possible if she was, like, up on the cliff. But the photo is upward, right? Yeah, look, the bottom of the camera is almost online with the bottom of the bridge. So they must have been someplace that was actually visible. And there's like... Oh, maybe this is the cliff? Hold on. Maybe that's the cliff. Okay, wait. So if they must have been... Okay, they must have been standing over here and taken it this way, past the edge of this cliff, and they must have been standing all the way out here when they took the photo. Top left of the E is what I'm thinking. Top left of the E. What? Hold on. Now, you can't see the supports for the bridge, so that doesn't help us. But yeah, so if this is that cliff... Wait, top left of the E? Oh, you're talking about, like, up here? No, this is above the bridge. So there's no way for them to have taken the photo low and up at the bridge if this is above it. So they would have had to have been below this, about on par with the bridge. So I'm guessing they would have had to have been over here. They took the photo this way. No, like, maybe there's a ledge there that just isn't shown on the map. Oh, I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, there's no way for me to know what's going on with that. But if everything they're showing here is actually representative of what was happening, then yeah, the photo would have had to have been taken from, like, over here at this, like, at an angle. And they would have had to have been standing out here on the bridge, and the camera would have caught just the edge of this as they were taking the photo of them over here. Unless there's some other ledge or something we can't see from this photo somewhere. Like, if they're out here above this E on a ledge or something, maybe, but that's not in the photo, so I can't do anything about that. Usually there's an eyewitness. Okay. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness wearing a scarf. Is it like the bridge here? No, apparently not. It must have been when the scarf fell off. See what's going on. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. Shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Fell out of the trunk of Paula's car. Taken by the witness. What about the victim at the time of the incident? Found on Dusky Bridge. Unless it's going to be something stupid like, if it was on the bridge, where did the mud come from? Because there's no mud on the bridge? No, okay, it wasn't that. I don't have any profiles to present. Stab with a knife in the back, dried from... Okay, maybe it's... No. There's an eyewitness. Okay, so maybe it's this with the stabbing photo? Or with stabbing? Nope. I mean, the criminal showed the victim out from behind. Stabbed her in the back. One day, unfortunately, it's a little... Like wearing the scarf, sir. The eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. it's a little hard to see what's going on. Okay, I looked it up. Alright. Is it something completely unhinged? Because we get some pretty unhinged ones. Because, I mean, we've got, what, 2 contradictions right now that we should be able to present that the module just won't let us. Crime photo... Wait, crime photo on the 4th? On the 4th statement? Hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Down from behind and stab her in the back. What does the crime scene photo have to do? Huh? So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too, just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions of the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Oh, I guess because she's not covered in blood? Or covered in mud? Or she isn't wet? Huh? Well, by all means, please enlighten us as what isn't right. There's a well nearby, maybe the white ghost woman? It's mud. Okay. What is it about this photo that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? I guess her outfit? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can tell, there is nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. The victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of that bridge. The front of her coat should have been covered in blood, or mud. That's exactly right. The other day, I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous, playful beard was befouled. Okay. Click on her boob? I'm not clicking on her boobs. Words. Befouled. Some ruffians broke into my throne room and befouled my throne room. There was 3 of them. One of them really didn't want to be there, and the other one was actively stealing my chair.
Words.
All right. The other day I fell on a muddy street, and my gorgeous, playful beard was befouled. And also, someone burned all the carpets. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your gorgeous hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? Ah, a real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like that. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Huh? Here is the evidence that proves that... I guess the mud on the scarf? Where did the mud from the scarf come from if there was no mud? It's gotta be what it is, right? Also, I mean, you can see that there's no mud from these photos. Even their shoes aren't dirty. Worn by the victim. It's gotta be this, right? The evidence is this scarf. Ah, it should be obvious. The scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy. means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Urgh. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Wow. Absolutely hit him in the face with something, please. Hey, same to you, buddy. Someone please hit him with a chair. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that it appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright, it's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Ah, you're doing pretty well for a little kitten, Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence is one of those three. What you just said now. I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court record. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. The false evidence in this case is the... I'm guessing... Save? Yes. Definitely want to save. Overwrite the selected save file, please. Witness's testimony, body in the trunk, the witness's photo. I'm tempted to say the witness's photo. Body in the trunk. Because the body in the trunk was taken by the police, so there's no way that's fake. Unless there's a much larger problem going on here, right? Witness's photo, body in the trunk, witness's testimony. I think it's the witness's testimony is faulty. I'm gonna try the witness's testimony. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed him. What a save! Now, in this testimony, exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. What a save! That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. Ha, it's not just true. It's the truth. There was a truly decisive witness in this case. I'm certain that boy Wander over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. Sigh, you should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. Mr. Edgeworth said, kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Is he the witness? I feel like he still could be the witness. Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. Prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? What? Everyone is silent and then I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. At that moment, Zane's the witness? That would be really weird. Didn't this lady get arrested? I'm very confused about how she could be back. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. Okay, wait a second. A double-double is a California thing. That is not a not a Canadian thing. Now, a dozen donut holes, though, that's a thing. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Whoa! You cannot say that out loud, sir. Hey, hey, not so fast. Sigh. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive
Right
and
to jail,
delicate.
right away.
I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. What? To play a right to jail right away? When addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Faye, could you learn a lot from this man? If he's such a gentleman, he doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is this accurate? Whoa! How can you be so mean? Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this has taken. What? Is she staring at me? And you would be... Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Faye. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. Judges assent. So far, we've met, I think, 2 judges. This guy and then the previous one. And I think we came in and checked on this guy once in the middle of one of our other investigations. So I think these are the only 2 judges we know. And they both seem to be idiots. So I don't know. Yes, Your Honor, I'll do my best. The witness's photograph. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. No. Right after that, I called the police. Okay. That's... No? That doesn't make any sense? By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was okay! She was over there. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, huh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Please stop actively hitting on the witness. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this, a small but powerful model. Sure, I guess so. Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Oh god. Okay, I guess I should... I don't know what is gonna happen, so... Let me guess, no poisons but knife itself? I don't know why she would want to kill the female detective. That seems really strange. A poison. She wanted to double up, so she used a poison knife. No, I like that. I like that really good. They just assumed she died from blood loss and didn't even test her for poison. So she's gotten practice poisoning people and stabbing people. That's a good one. I like that. She's just running around. This is her third kill. No one finds out about it for years. This must be why Phoenix is looking into this case. Because remember, he thought he was dating this woman for like 6 months, but she was actually just trying to get her necklace back from him because it had poison residue in it. So maybe that's why he's looking this up, is to find out like why they know each other or something. It's really odd. I was using my camera to take some pictures of the wildflowers. Is this something you do often? Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain's in the famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. Oh, I know just how you feel. Just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. This man is completely unhinged. This man is completely unhinged. Someone needs to help him. This man needs help. He should not only not be a judge in a court of law, he needs to be seeing like psychological help. What is happening? Would you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. Was there anything strange about the 2 of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. No, not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. I'm telling you, this man needs to have some help. He's not okay. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Okay, you gotta get him out of here. He has now just confessed that he doesn't even care about the trials. He just likes watching people fight. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that? Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Grr. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Why did you take a photo? Well, the 2 of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Sounds like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. No. Someone needs this. Someone get Zane on the phone. Ika, call Zane. Get him over there. He's got to stop Crazy Grandpa. Crazy Grandpa needs to be stopped. Tell him to bring like a bat or something and like 4 police officers. Have the 4 officers hold him down while he hits him with a bat. Someone help this poor grandkid. My God. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Now that it has any bearings on this. Zane's sick today? Oh God, that poor child. All you do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. And right after that, I called the police. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was very clear. very certainly tough luck for the criminal, huh? Jerry Flawless isn't the criminal. And there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're going to have to come up with something really good, Maya. We'll have to call Vance Lamp instead. Came back with coffee. What? Our assistant, the assistant guy, Mr. Armando or whatever, always has coffee. Okay, I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Even though that's kind of odd, but Moses Foster took the witness's photo with this, a small but powerful model. I just noticed for a while, is there a ton of catcalling? Yeah, they've been, what's the best way to describe this? They've kind of been hitting on, all the women in this so far, in this particular episode, have been getting hit on, like, non-stop. It's really not cool. It's really not okay at all. It's incredibly unprofessional. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers, and I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. But, okay. See, they're not fighting here. They don't even look like they've begun fighting. Also, it's talked about that her scarf came off when they were fighting. But she still has her scarf. So this means that this photo was taken before they started fighting. So this has got to be the contradiction is like right here, right? You're right. Simping and catcalling attorney Trilogy? Kind of, yeah. As gross as the judges are in this, yeah, it's pretty bad. Gumshoe's also pretty bad, at least in this one. In the first two, he didn't seem to care about women at all. But in this one, for some reason, he's been really worried about women. And, like, kind of gross to them. And then Edgeworth here has just been insulting Mia non-stop. But that's more of, I think, meant to be... As messed up as it is, I think that's supposed to be, like, them fighting more than, like, an actual sexist thing. But I'm pretty sure he would get in trouble for calling her a bimbo in court. I don't think that's okay. Ryan took this photo that shows the crucial moment. I'm assuming this is the contradiction.
Objection!
Yes, okay. Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You said that you saw two of them starting to fight? Normally that's the kind of thing that you would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was.
Squish that cat.
What? Why would you squish him? Oh, squish the cat. We're not squishing any cats. That's a weird internet video. We're not squishing cats around here. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. No. What? My apologies, young lady. But Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos?
Oh, you're not gonna cry, are you?
No, I'm not gonna cry. What's his name? Oh, I know that voice! Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell. No, I'm not gonna cry, Bruce Campbell. Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. Oh, at the NPC? Oh, she's gonna cry every opportunity she gets. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once, too. Please, no details. Seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she's had no film left, she couldn't have very well take more pictures, huh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo? Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes? Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. That's not poetry. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Ha! Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there was 2 people standing up on the... Oh, we didn't... Oh, I thought we progressed this. We're still here. If that was a poet, I would give the rating above dog crap. Yeah. Yeah, that was not poetry. That was like a metaphor at best. Then I noticed that there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly they just started fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run. Oh, okay, they added some stuff. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Oh, so they added some stuff. Started fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but the victim, why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy? If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quaggy? Quaggy. Googie? This is a Q, right? Queen. What? Ika. What's quaggy? What? That's a new word. I don't know this word. If I'd been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quaggy? Why you? What? Like quagmire? Oh, so like a disheveled kind of difficult woman? That is a really odd term. I've never heard it used that way before. Knife and that large guy, that guy can snap neck by turn it roughly. Yeah, he didn't really need a knife, but it does explain why she ran away. Oh, okay, quaggy, adjective quaggy, quaggy, marshy, flabby. Oh, okay, so it's not quagmire as in like a sticky situation that you've gotten yourself into, like a complicated situation. It was quagmire in the traditional sense of like a swampy area that's difficult to move through. Okay. That's still kind of a weird insult, but I guess that makes more sense. That she's just kind of like flabby and marshy, yeah. What is a synonym for quaggy? Boggy, marshy, murray, meary, murky, muddy, sloppy, sloggy, soggy, squashy, swampy, waterlogged, wet. Yeah. So yeah, if she was just kind of a roly-poly mess, which is again another pretty rude insult, but why you? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. Well, you'd be dead. There's still something wrong with his testimony. Well, yeah, clearly. She's only about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying the Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I wish I could have done something to help her. It seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Ha. Does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. Yes, thank you, Armando. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Henry Fallis isn't the criminal. It seems there must be something strange in the girl's testimony. Careful, kitten. The girl is okay. One little finger, you're coming up with something really good. Okay. Words? Yes. Yes, there's lots of words in this one. I was using my camera to take some pictures of the wild. So I'm wondering if... No, not that one. If... I don't know why this is going to be the case or what this has to do with anything. But I'm wondering if this is going to turn out to be... her in a disguise, and this photo was taken with the timer instead? I just don't know why that would be the case. Wait, what's her name? Hold on, wait. Melissa. Oh. Melissa Foster. If that's Melissa, we still don't know who Dahlia is. We haven't met Dahlia. I don't know who that's about or whatever, because it says have Dahlia tell the truth or whatever, right? Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Have we... Who is Dahlia? Why does no one seem to care about this person? Notice that there was two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly they just started fighting.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
But this isn't Fight Club. Okay, first of all, these people seem to be real, unlike Tyler Durden. Second of all, this isn't Fight Club. This is like murder, revenge, false accusation club. And you talk about that with everybody to make sure everyone knows. Turn around and run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Fighting with word. Well, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so it's one of these two, and I'm just not sure which part of... I don't know exactly which thing I need to present the contradiction with, but it's the fact that it doesn't make any sense for her to turn and run since the bridge is out on this side. Why would she turn and try to run away to a bridge that she knows is out? That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna turn around ran away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. I'm gonna try it on... No, son of a... Okay, I'm gonna try it on this one. I'm gonna try the bridge. Okay, this seemed to work. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Mistake. I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because Dusky Bridge has collapsed on that side. Whoa! What does this all mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. What? It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous. Can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. What? Ha, that guy's good. Huh? What do you mean? Planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward. Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've only once again made a reckless accusation. No? I made an accusation based off the facts I were given, which are wrong facts presented by your prosecutor, Judge. I have a bunch of butt. You can eat all of my butt.
Let's have a drink.
What? I should have been more careful myself. Let's have a drink? What? No. I wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what is with that witness, what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. Right? Young lady, may I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms, and he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. Ah, that's what I like to hear. All right, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. Contradiction is starting to right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Well, the contradiction is she couldn't have seen most of that. Running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Or, actually, maybe she did fall? Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. You don't mind, I was asking the witness. Sigh, no need to be so rude. Oh my god, Well, young lady, of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. Huh? Ha. We're one step too slow. And then what did the defendant do after that? Then he carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed that? Yes. Anything strange happened when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes? Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember that we're on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? So if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. He couldn't just leave the body on the top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but the mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? It was raining that day, correct? There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. Oh my god, is this the same... You know those monks? They just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body. Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but As for his face, so you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? Well, they were far away and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent. You're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey, kitten. Have you ever put salt in your coffee? No, why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? What? Listen, my point is that if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something, you've got nothing to lose. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well, after all. What is this idiot talking about? After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up. Okay, so... my next question is, was he found with blood all over him then? Because if he was carrying a body that was bleeding to death, actively bleeding to death, he's gonna get covered in a bit of blood. Then he carried her over to the car. Now, again, I argue that you couldn't have seen this. She could have watched him carry, she admitted she was standing right here. She could have watched him carry the body to about, probably right here. And then the rest of it goes behind a cliff. There's no way. That's got, I don't know if that's the contradiction for sure, but that is a contradiction. I don't know if it's the contradiction, but it's a contradiction. Carry the body over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Okay, hold on. So... is this the contradiction? Okay, nope, that's not the contradiction. Come back again with coffee. Did miss something? No, she just testified that she watched him carry the body to the car. The problem with that is that she can't see the car. She confessed she was right here. There's a cliff between them. There's no way she could have watched him carry the body to the car. But that wasn't the contradiction. That was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. You can just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. You couldn't just leave the... I mean, there's also the thing she could have probably just pushed her into the river. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to his car. His officer and the victim. In the case against Flawless 5 years ago. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Photo, witnesses photo. Unless the contradiction is here, then he could have just pushed her into the river. Why take the body back if you could just throw them in the river and they'd never be seen again? They even mentioned at the beginning of the trial, Edgeworth did, that the current in this river is particularly strong. It's not unusual for people to fall in and never be found. So why not just throw the body into the river and be done with it? Maybe that's the contradiction? Ah, that's the contradiction right there. The killer not wanting his victim to be found, I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for the purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Huh? Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in it are never recovered. Ah.
Facts.
Facts
Evidence,
indeed. Facts.
Reason, logic, an understanding of science.
Thank you, Barack Obama. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Faye, but I must admit it does seem odd to have thrown the body in... not to have thrown the body into the river. Oh. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Sigh. How sad. Perhaps Miss Faye would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. She's literally quoting you to you, you idiot! What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Okay, but my other argument is she couldn't have seen any of that. Miss Faye, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. What the witness claims to have witnessed is totally ridiculous. And physically impossible to have been seen. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. Well, I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. What are you talking about? Alright, I'll do my best. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. Oh, okay. We were wondering about this. Hold on. What did the man do then? Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when you called the police? You sure you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry, I was only supposed to talk about what I saw. Broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. There's no way you saw that. That's impossible. There's no way she physically could see where that happened. Not to mention, it doesn't make any sense of why he would break in if he has the keys to the car, but... Broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. Oh, I gotta present this. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Huh? Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your own very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rocks is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I meant that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rocks. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. Huh? I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from? Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge. The outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff. But still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car? No! Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. but she was reportedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh.
Huh?
Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair. Ha! Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando? Don't look back until the trial's over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. And you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Ah. Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there was marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. Those certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that his trunk this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? That judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? It doesn't work. Melissa Foster, looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. Even so, you knew about the scratches? The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally got her. Ha. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself? Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was she put the corpse in herself. She happened to be passing by. She is the owner of the car? I guess if she is the owner of the car, that would actually make some amount of sense. I don't think they're gonna get away with she put the corpse in herself. There's no way they would accept that she could carry a corpse. Save? Oh, I can actually save. A lot of the times they won't let me save when I'm doing math, so I didn't think I would be able to. But yeah, you can actually save there. I'm gonna go with... She happened to be passing by. She happened to be passing by. She put the corpse in herself. She is the owner of the car. I'm gonna go with she's the owner of the car. That's just crazy enough to be true. The car actually belonged to her. That's why she knew about the scratches. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Frankly, Your Honor, after hearing a pathetic response like that, I have to question whether you or not such a pathetic lawyer should even exist. Did you hear that, Miss Faye? Well, Mr. Edgeworth just called you a knucklehead. Yeesh, isn't that overdoing things a little bit? Okay, I guess that's not it? That seemed weird enough to be the correct answer, but I guess not. So she put the corpse in herself? What? What? That cannot possibly be correct. But what does the she happened to be passing by even mean? I guess it's got to be this? There's only one way that a witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes, what is it? Actually, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. Huh? The person who really hid the body in the trunk of the car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. Mr. Fallis had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk. He would have simply used the car key. There would no need to break it open. Okay, I guess this was it. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Miss Fallis that put the body in the trunk. No! Preposterous. To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing! On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is that in this shutter, for those who may not have been pushed... Wait. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Oh my god! Was I right? Was I saying that this was a setup because of the button? Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? There's a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, she really did use the camera's auto timer. And the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in that field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? Answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident occurred? She's gotta be this one, right? It's gotta be. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. It's gotta be it. It's gotta be it. Nice? Yeah, that's gotta be what it is. Order, Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put that body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How, I guess, asinine? Of course Miss Fallis met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to put the victim in the trunk is the man that killed her, Terry Fallis. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in that photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. And who exactly the victim is... Wait, then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. Huh? What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Miss Fallis met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. Mr. Fallis met on the bridge. It was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Miss Fallis himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. 5 years ago! But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in federal penitentiary. You can't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. Just making this up as you go. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. Will it? I hope you know what you're talking about, Mia, because I have no idea what you're talking about. At the time of the incident, Miss Fallis had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Oh, because of the brain, where the necklace, where the confidential police material written by the victim, where the this, wear white scarf for identification. That way he knew who she was because he didn't remember. Miss Follis had forgotten the victim's face. Mr. Follis had forgotten the victim's face. Why needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Follis who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by this note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? No! Oh, she passed out. She passed out. Judge isn't going to react to this? Or, where's Miss Foster? Collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. Well, he did. Yeah. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Huh. Well, we have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we can start again. Till then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. And that was insanity. To be continued. I'm wondering if the original version didn't have some, like, have the ability to save in the middle. Do you want to save your progress up to this point? Yes. Yes, I do. Why? Because this module is insane. 073D, huh? February 16th, 1:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 4. Mr. Follis, eek. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks? We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime... Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill the policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All I know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Follis, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for the last 5 years? Ha. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true. It's true, I did. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago. I kidnapped my girlfriend. Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh! Okay, so there's Dahlia. Okay. Your girlfriend, huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name? Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious?
This is where the fun begins.
No, unfortunately, I don't think there was much fun had that day. Shut up. Come closer. And I'll kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. the detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. First, I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing a line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend? My love? My teen angel? Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I do everything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says. Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich, jewelry business. We get 1 jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We send to her dad. Asked for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the $2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman. That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real. You shot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she'd jump in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Woke up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence? I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Fallis, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. That's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forgot what she looks like. So I tell her to wear scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answers come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Fallis, where is she? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone. With Dahlia. Gone forever. And into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. Can you come back in now? We're about to ready to go. No one is putting together that on the note left by the cop is the name of her little sister and you need to talk to her, implying she's alive, and the sister and the cop knows about it? Are you kidding me right now? What? Also, they moved the note for some reason. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. No one put together seeing this note about the dead and or missing Dahlia, that Dahlia is mentioned in this letter and you need to talk to her to find out the truth. There's no one's, that whole sentence on this super important piece of evidence that everyone knows about, no one's bringing this up till now? Ugh, God, that's insanity. Yes, clown honk. Give them the clown honk. Because they are a bunch of clowns. Oh my God. You come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Fallis, just one more question. You said with Dahlia. Do you mean the diamonds is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. Never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia. My teen angel. Your teen angel. How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? Guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping, disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Wallace takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... It's time, kitten. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeves now. You bet. Diamond added to the court record. A $2 million gem used as ransom for Dahlia. Lost the Eagle River 5 years ago. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. February 16th, 1:49 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Fallis. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think... You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando? Listen. A lawyer is someone who smiles matters no matter how bad it gets. Huh? Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is a mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. It's like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. I guess. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Melissa Foster's history. I was out of the country until the year before last. Till I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Wow, that was good timing on that one. That was good timing on that one. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. Melissa Foster's history. I was out of the country until the year before last. So, what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed, it was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification.
Just do it!
Okay. She has no personal identification to prove who she is. What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details? Yeah, press her harder. Witness, answer my question. I've even repeated for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I couldn't... I never had known Mr. Farless or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just added to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Okay. You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'd rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why don't you just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? First time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. Wow! Shots fired, team! Shots fired! Wow! But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? Prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. Huh? All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious intent. I have to establish her relationship to the police officer. So I need to know a little bit about her to do that, you idiot. We're trying to establish motive. If I can't ask her any personal questions, of course I can't connect her to anybody. Thank you, she's really gone too far. Miss A, treading on thin ice here. Hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you knew things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station...
A bold personality. We know what that's code for. She's a bitch.
Wow! Dang. Wow. Witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at the time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. Ha, that's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. It's not fair. That wicked inmate, I've never been able to forget that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago? A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death? Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of all of those charges. It's rather forgetful, your client, I mean. Huh? Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Fallis is kind of forgetful. Press harder. He said he forgot what the detective looked like? What do you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some sort of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, they probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Flaw's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with the last statement? Have it added to the testimony. Leave it alone. I don't know on this one. This might be one of the few ones where leaving alone is the correct answer. We'll just leave it alone, I think, for now. Any more damage to my client's image could be a disaster. He already has a bad enough opinion of him. You can't just trust someone with a bad memory. What did you eat for dinner 1 week ago today? At the very least, a person should remember that much. As for me, it was payday, so I had a nice moose steak with some poutine on the side. Oh, come on! A moose steak? That's not even a thing. How does that relate to anything? Whether it's eating steak or committing murder, a person shouldn't deny their actions. I'm in complete agreement, Your Honor. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. Moose steak, huh? What about an elk steak? I mean, it's not impossible, don't get me wrong. It's not like no one's ever eaten moose or elk before, but I've never heard of going to a restaurant and getting a moose steak before. So unless he happens to live by some specialty restaurants or something, that's pretty odd. Would just be deer or elk? Honestly, maybe unless there's something I don't know about Canada, which is totally possible. I've never heard of like a place, like a restaurant you go and get deer or elk on the menu that's not a specialty shop. Like there's definitely specialty shops where you can go and get like, what was the one? I want to say there's one that's in, I want to say Tennessee, where you can go and get like 150 different kinds of jerky. You can get like bear and elk and emu and all these weird jerkies and stuff. So it's not impossible. It's just, I don't think I've ever heard someone say, I went and got a moose steak, right? Like I've never heard of that before. Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They added an in-depth report about his whole history. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. Can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow, she's going to have to get her to show the court her true self. I was out of the country until 5 years before last. Hold on. Hold on. So... What about the victim at the time of the incident found on Dusky Bridge? I don't know if we know how she knows about the scarf. Witness Bridge. Taken by the witness bridge unchanged for 5 years. Oh. Wait. So this is confidential. So she wouldn't know about the identification, right? No, either the victim or the defendant. Unfortunately, I've never been able to know him before. No, any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer, holding a grudge, and killing an officer who testified against you. Kidnapping a poor girl. Wait. So she mentioned that this, right? So this has got to be part of... Because that's confidential. It says specifically that's confidential. So she should know about that? Or are they claiming that she learned about it on the trial or something? Hold on.
Objection!
No, it's not that one. Testified 5 years ago. It's a terrible, horrible monster. A reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. What's if Foster took this witness's photo with this? Has a timer function. Photo of the trunk of Wallace's car. $2 million gem. He used as ransom for Dahlia, lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. She mentioned it in one of the pressings, right? Which thing? Like the news report? Well, the news report talked about the incident from 5 years ago, but she didn't mention that. Grudge. Okay, hold on. The scarf. Let me see. A grudge. Well, policewoman said somebody was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's presumably why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. Wait, so much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful, your client. I mean, Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Follis is kind of forgetful. Maybe I don't press harder here and just wait and see what she says. Any more damage to my client's image may be a disaster. The judge already has a bad enough opinion. Bad memory. Okay, maybe we have to add that other thing to the testimony? Or that much. As for me, it's payday. Eating steak or committing murder, a person shouldn't deny their actions. Complete. Okay, we're gonna have to add that other thing then. Let me add that as a thing. Okay, so... Okay. So we press more, press harder, and then we have it added to the testimony. And then we can ask about the testimony, right? Said he wouldn't know what the detective looked like? We couldn't tell that she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. Okay, so that's the contradiction right there. She knows about the scarf thing, but she doesn't say where she learned that from. This is bad. Mr. Holland's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. But, okay, have it added to the testimony. Your Honor, what the witness just said just now was tremendously important. I'd like to add it to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. The testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why... Enough, witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. Okay, so that's what we're missing. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone's wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Ha. Looks like you pressed too hard for this time, kitten. Mr. Armando? Keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Oh, so you're just wrong. Okay, you're an idiot. Wait. I'm back. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. How do you know about that? Confidential police materials written by the victim. It's true, Mr. Follis did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, wear white scarf for identification. Yes, what about it? Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? The note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it the witness knows about it? Order. It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. In that case, the only way the witness could know about the note would be... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just, I saw it when it happened, with my own eyes. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. No, it doesn't. She just said that everyone was wearing scarves. There's no reason that that scarf should have stood out to her unless she knew about the scarves being the signal. Come on, man. You can't let her weasel out of this that easily. Witness. Sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true. That's what I saw. Impossible. There's only one way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. The hat is probably more rare of an attire. Yeah. Okay, so impossible. There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. Because of the rain? Or because it's not white? Oh, yeah, because it's blue, right? Where might the victim found? Oh, yeah, that's true. It's blue, not white. There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him because it's blue. I keep forgetting that it's not actually... I keep thinking they're saying it's white, but they actually said one time it's a blue scarf and not white, but it was close enough. I keep giving them the benefit of the doubt on the stupid scarf thing because it's an art choice and not... And they've done so many stupid art choices in this. Alright, because of the scarf. You said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Then is something wrong? That's a good call. That's a good call, Echo. That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew that the contents of the note? No! It says, wear white scarf for identification. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster? No! Order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Fallis is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The person that knew the contents of the note was... Dahlia Hawthorne. Murray's younger sister, victim of the kidnap/murder, fell from the bridge, nobody found. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, and that person is Dahlia Hawthorne.
Nice.
Thank you. Dahlia Hawthorne, I never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia, tell her this time. There is her name, right there. What's this? Who is this person, this Dahlia Hawthorne? It's I. Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Fallis. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off the Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster? I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't, Miss Faye. You're not saying... But I am. That precisely is what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Ha, nice work. That was like tossing your grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. Do you? If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Edgeworth squirm. Witness? Just who are you, anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes. I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes. The prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. That is a total lie. What did you say? Huh. Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way, but then why? If he hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. You're telling me he's allowed to misrepresent witnesses and completely lie about their relevance to the case, and that's completely legal and fine? What? What? Isn't this man also wanted for the murder of Dahlia Hawthorne when she's actively not dead? What? But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well. But, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with this current case. It does if it determines the motive of why she would have killed her sister. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. The last 5 years she's been playing the role of victim. What? Edgeworth is what? I didn't hear what it said. Why is it taking so long? Oh, of course this one doesn't pop up to let me know what it actually said, of course. Wait, hold on a second, Let me see. Censor? I don't know why it would have censored it, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Of course it is. Now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder? Because of poop? Oh, it did say poop. I guess it could have censored it then. Really, Miss Faye? I must say, your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win at any cost. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. Even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to suggest that she murdered her. What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? Glitch sound effect has name of he is full of poop about Edgeworth. Oh, yeah, he's completely full of poop right now. All reasons when this witness have for killing her beloved sister. Well, that's a $2 million diamond. People have killed family members for less than that. I can guarantee you. Well, you see, thought I was winning. Somehow he turned it around on me. Well, he did commit a huge crime in the process. No one cares because this world doesn't make any sense. But sure. Ah, I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy. This crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Huh. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your prodigy looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. To me? Sigh. Rashness of youth, how charming. This coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time, Miss Faye. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? My first guess is the diamond. The diamond is the obvious thing, right? Used as a ransom for Dahlia, lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. The other thing it could be is the note. She wanted to cover up the truth. Talk to Dahlia, tell her this time the whole truth must come out. So it's one or the other. I don't know which one it could be. I have enough points that I could take the hit on a failure. But it's got to be one or the other. I don't know. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? I'm going to go with the victim's note, and then we'll try the diamond if that doesn't work. The story starts after Terry Fullis has escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, "Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out." Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia.
It's my
That reason
money
Dahlia
and I
felt
need it
she had to
now!
kill Valerie. What? It's money and I need it now. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was this secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Fallis. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between Hawthorne sisters. Ugh. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. This will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Or Fallis. Or Falls? Falls. We'll just call him Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valera brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Fallis in the arm. That's when Mr. Fallis tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. What? The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that, she murdered her sister. Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor? As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We're still got that info. The ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you're forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Fallis told us that in the lobby. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Maya. That's her secret. 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. That'd be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. Probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. Hold on. Wait, Mr. Fallis, the guy who can't use full sentences, was tutoring you in a subject? What subject was he tutoring you in? The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? You just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? The ransom prize was a raw diamond my sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. Ah, yes, clever. Like, what? I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. Only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What? Did he hear what he just said? There's only one way in and one way out, so he would know he's not being followed. What about, I don't know, an ambush? Like what happened to him the second time? Like, what are you talking about? He would have to be an idiot to attempt a kidnapping, and there's only one way in and one way out of where he wants the ransom dropped off to him. If you're gonna kidnap someone, you want as many exits as possible so they can't lock you down into one of them. Clever got so loose on this kangaroo court. Yeah, he did. Oh my god. Their concept of clever is apparently being a complete idiot. What are you talking about? You're describing someone who has no idea what they're doing and calling them clever. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Flawless is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Mallory brought the diamond to the mountain, and after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Flawless in the arm. That was a dangerous thing to do, considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Flawless was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. Huh? That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. That's when Mr. Flawless tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Again with this from behind thing. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, Mr. Flawless was shot in the right arm. He let go of me. I was dazed. I tried to turn and run away, but Mr. Flawless turned to grab my arm as well. As I ran past, he and I looked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin. Oh. And in the next instant, she was thrown off the bridge. I advised the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. Oh, she mentioned the crumbling bridge! So she just mentioned that the bridge was also broken down. Then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Where my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. And that's why you hid your identity? Yes. I only told my sister. Darley Hawthorne, huh? Yeah, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could. It's a moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. You just gotta prove that the kidnapping was a hoax. Here's I was kidnapped by Mr. Flawless. The ransom price was a raw diamond, Mr. Stern. She made the exchange. She shot Mr. Flawless in the arm. When Mr. Flawless tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Okay, so this has got to be the contradiction right here. Because she admitted that the bridge was broken down. So she wouldn't have tried to run backwards. Because if the bridge was broken down, she would have run to a dead end. Right? hold on. So it's got to be this? Yes! You say that Mr. Flawless pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Flawless. I'm sorry, I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. The bridge hasn't changed one bit in the last 5 years. You said so yourself. If someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed... Oh, there's there's stuff down. Instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Huh? Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. For all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witnesses testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. And lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What? What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Floss panicked. Therefore, he could have unwillingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now, when I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious. Order in the court. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Flawless panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Wait. Where is the thing that shows... Ah, yeah, this, with all the stuff, probably? This? I don't know. Your Honor, all of the answers are right there in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. Hey, save? It's too late. I'm in the zone. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could easily have picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Flawless has been shot in the right arm. Ah. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had a gun trained on him at point-blank range. Ugh. So, Mr. Flawless throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible. Grah! Order. What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Why was there a lion roar? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs, she could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, The witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, and then what is it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. The fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. Okay, now it's got to be the $2 million gem. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Follis to help her fake the kidnapping. Bang. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river. With a ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Order. Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? Oh my god. Okay. We gotta be almost close. We gotta be almost done with this. But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. That is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do. She was going to tell the whole truth? As she wrote it in her note? That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, it's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman, Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned a kidnapping, of course? That at 14 I plotted it with my Mr. Follis and my sister? Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey? I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? Nerd. How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertion made by the defense. Of course you are. Can we talk about a murder weapon? Oh, the classic evil lady is back? Yeah. Is that it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Ha. Without evidence, the trial is over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fallis' stolen car and then went to the meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne, that's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? Terry Fallis? I guess? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Fallis. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether this person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is Terry Fallis. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. It's my last chance, Mr. Fallis. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Wow. Didn't think that's where we were going with this, but alright. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. I don't like the way they're representing him. It's one thing if he has like a nervous tick, but the problem is that they're representing him as with like a lower IQ or something, and it's kind of offensive to me. At least with this like gnawing on the weight thing they're doing. Mr. Fallis, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Fallis, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia? Did you betray me? 5 years ago she promised never, ever betray each other. Terry? Dahlia? It's true. It's true, you are alive. You don't trust me anymore. That makes me sad. Tell the truth. Tell the real truth. I believed in you. Huh? I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. Huh? But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Dahlia? I will allow Mr. Fallis to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Fallis, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness? Eek. I'm sorry. I apologize. Water. Please. Water. Can't talk. Need water. Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitter than heck itself. Hoorah. Who Terry Fallis saw? That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie. Not my Dahlia. Mr. Fallis, you're covering for her? Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end this final testimony of the trial. Huh? Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is that how you want it to end, Mr. Fallis? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? Okay, I have some concerns about this death sentence thing, because he got the death sentence for killing her. But she's not dead, so he didn't commit murder anymore. He committed attempted murder. Now that might not change the sentencing, but he has a completely different crime that he committed technically. There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think. Who Terry Fallis saw? That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining, already dark, too. You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Fallis? Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong memories. Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. Sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question about why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of the eye. I watched my car from the bridge. I never put no body in that car. You were watching the car? That bridge. Other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So I was watching car. Sigh. What else would you we're expecting him to do? Well, that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction. Yes, obviously, in the picture, he's facing away from his car. If he was there first, his back would have been to the broken part of the bridge. But the woman in the scarf had her back to the bridge. Like, obviously. I wonder what's on the other side of that broken bridge, anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, no nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Mr. Fallis, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face. Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry. I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was definitely different from woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, then she left. What did you talk to her about, anyway? Mr. Fallis. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do, she said. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. I don't really remember. Maybe I did? Maybe I did push her in? Huh? It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead. You just saw that she isn't dead. After Valerie talked to me on the bridge, nothing left to live for. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It had already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Fallis, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman, it wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Fallis? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her, Mr. Fallis. Even if he can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. He'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. That day at 4 p.m. I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on the bridge from the bridge, but I never put nobody in that car. And when woman came, she stood in front of me. Talked, then she left. She stood in front of me. It's my car from the bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Okay, I know the contradictions here. Technically, I think they've talked about 2 contradictions. I'm just not sure which one they want me to talk about first. I'm guessing it's the bridge. Either I eventually get to gathering all of Exodia or my opponent decks out. Oh, I made a Cancer Exodia deck in Yug. Ika is a, lightly ranked Yu-Gi-Oh! What's it called? Yu-Gi-Oh! Something something. Their online stuff. And Ika is like a ranked player in it, and he likes to make really weird decks and then see how far he can get with them. So he... Duel Links. Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And apparently he's making an Exodia deck, which is a very niche, specific kind of deck, and it's going very well, apparently. Or your opponent decks out, huh? I eventually get to gathering of all Exodia, or my opponent decks out. Magic the Yugening? Yes. Let's play some Magic the Yugening. I'll get all my Magic cards, and you get all your Yuge cards, and we'll just play them against each other and figure out how it works. The rules are very different. I mean, he would have a huge advantage. Because in Magic the Gathering, you only have 40 hit points. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh! You have like 4,000 hit points. So one hit from any of your monsters is going to kill me instantly. Considering like minimum damage is 200 damage or something. It'd basically be like me playing against Godzilla. That'd be like me fighting Godzilla is basically what that would be. And all I'm doing is like 5 damage every time I throw a punch. And Godzilla does like 1,000 damage every time he attacks me. I've got 40 hit points and he's got 4,000. So I have to like punch him like some insane amount of times before he'd even feel it going, like, and feel it happening. Finally, one woman came, she said, okay, so we talked. Listen. Finally, one woman came, she stood in front of me. I watched my car from the bridge when I was in the car. Okay, I think this was kind of a contradiction.
Addiction!
Okay, this is one. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge? You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Fawless. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? What? What? Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. No, my poor fool of an opponent just summoned his third monster? Okay. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely is my point. In other words, Mr. Fawless, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Nerg, ga, blah. Mr. Fawless, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 50 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other, we swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. Wait, it's the poison necklace? You death sentenced card? Yes. That's what Exodia is, but it's 5 cards. I think it's 5 cards, right? It's 1 for one leg, or 2 for the legs, 2 for the arms, and then the head. It forms Exodia, and then you just win. Dija card? My guess? Okay, so this is the same necklace from the other case that had the poison in it. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock, but he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Doll Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! The effect, let's see. The Winged Dragon of Ra, Sphere Mode, cannot be special summoned. Requires 3 tributes from either side of the field to normal summon to the side of the field Cannot be normal set. Then shift control to this card's owner during the end phase of the next turn. Cannot attack. Your opponent cannot target this card for attacks or by card effects. The effect is longer, but the other part doesn't matter for this deck. Weird. There's 3 tributes from either side of the field to normal summon to that side of the field. Cannot be normal set. Then shift control of the card of this card's owner to this card's owner during the end phase of the next turn. So either person could keep like sacrificing monsters and like pulling it back and forth. So technically people could like, the other person could take control of the card on their turn, right? No, they can't. 3 tributes from either side of the field to normal summon to the side of that side of the field. Then shift control to this card's owner during the end phase of the next turn. Okay, I guess I don't understand how that card works exactly then. Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance, Mr. Fallis. There's no mistaking it. Herb. Huh? Mr. Fallis? Oh, he is bleeding. That's enough. Please. Witness? I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. Ugh. No! Stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No, we are so close, just a little more. I was gonna prove your innocence. No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Fallis. Mr. Armando, thanks for the coffee. Oh, he poisoned the coffee. Mr. Fallis. He poisoned the coffee, then he drank the poison. Okay. You can't summon monsters on the field to the monsters on the field to the field. It'd have to come from somewhere else. Oh. And that was my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. I was wondering how that was going because neither of them had lost a case. So how could they have both been in a case against each other, but it was probably declared like a mistrial since the the person died. And it with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. No, he was just weird. But one person, a true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne. She left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable. That witch. Mr. Armando? You were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault? It's all my fault that Mr. Fallis killed himself? Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia? Huh? Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Why did you just do that? Only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando? Why did he just do that? No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. Again, Phoenix is in the hospital. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Okay, so this was a year before his issue with Dahlia Hawthorne. Only after that did Delia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. Cups destroyed and the poison's also gone, I guess. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was... guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. Wow, so she got away with basically 2 different murders and then trying to get away with a 3rd murder. Or no, I take that back. She got away with murdering her sister and then convincing this guy to kill himself. She then killed a defense attorney inside of the courthouse and then killed her boyfriend in an attempt to cover up the evidence for killing the defense attorney. Wow, so she tried to get away with 4 murders. It's finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. You were shot or something? Episode 4, Turnabout Beginnings, the end. That's a pretty good place to call it. Ooh, we're on the last episode. We're actually going to finish this next week. A brand new episode has been added. Saving. Yes. Oh my god, we might actually almost be done with this. The long national nightmare that is my nightmare of this module is almost over. I don't believe it. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. It's almost over. It's almost over, team. We're almost out of the clutches. We're almost gone. We're almost done.
Did it, Patrick! We saved the city!
By the city, we mean my own sanity. Cell-tier sanity is going to be the only thing saved. Cell-tier sanity is going to be the only thing saved by the time we're done with this. Oh my god. Well, Kangaroo Quarter's over. Not yet. We've got one more thing to get through. Man, we do have to remember, usually this last one... Shai-Chu, the treasured Vikrun statue. Hold on, what is happening? It is said that this sacred sword represents life itself. Well, someone threw it on the ground and bent it as a part of a cover-up. Though the branches may appear to be infinite, the choice is limitless. That's not at all what that looks like, but okay. Like our destinies, the sword comes to but one end, one merciless point. And when the silver cord, the fragile thread that binds us to this world, is severed. Oh, someone's dead. The illusion is revealed, and the implacability of fate is finally laid bare. Character building? Yeah. I don't know who that is that died, but... February 6th, 9:48 a.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices, and that will be next week. Kangaroo Court is over. Not yet. We've got one more trial. And the last trial is usually the longest one. So there's a chance that we don't finish this next week. We probably got 2 weeks of this left. Because A, the investigation is going to probably be very, very long. And 2, usually the trial is broken up into like 3 different characters. And at least one of them you usually have to interview like 2 different times. So there's a good chance we've still got about 2 weeks worth of this left to go. But then we might be done. We might be done after that. Oh my god. I guess everyone, if you're listening to this, if you if you have a particular puzzle module in mind, please go over to the Discord and add it in. I think I've got one other thing or maybe two other things on the list for puzzle module stuff. But I know there's not a ton of stuff over there. Most of what is over in the Discord is action stuff. But of course, we always appreciate the lurkers. Thank you. You have the Twitch world go round. Anybody who checks the VODs here on Twitch, checks the VODs in the YouTube repository, thank you. It's always greatly appreciated. Seeing those numbers helps keep me motivated. Oh, if you need a well thought out solution, you need a thinking solution, Raven Hillbrook Inc. Thinking Solutions. I hope to see you all back on Tuesday for Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. And I think that's about it. Zet, if you're still here, have a good one. Ika, have a good one. Everyone else, I hope you have a good whatever you're up to. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. We're gonna wrap up. We've got hopefully about 2 weeks left of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, and then we will have finished. We will have finished the Kangaroo Court, as Zet likes to call it, and we will have done it. We have made it past the madness that is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Ah, so excited, so excited. But yeah, everyone, you have a good one. that's gonna be it for me. Yeah, yeah, that'll be it for me. Yeah. Bye.